Hey everyone, the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notifications down below if you haven't already. Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom. I'm Kevin, your host. Behind me, as usual, is the beautiful wagon wheel. Hopefully, still some wisdom up in that area. I wanted to talk about something that just kind of popped into my head a little bit, and just kind of see if you guys agree with the mindset of where I'm at with this. So, upon my ex running away and ghosting me, I've been expressing to numerous people the feelings that I've had inside of me, and not necessarily knowing how to convey it to them, but just basically implying that with this person, there is just something vastly different about this breakup than any other breakup I've been through. I've been divorced, I've been in other serious relationships. Nothing on any level, from an emotional perspective, in my opinion, compares to what has happened with my ex now, my twin soul. So the weird part about it to me is everything about it feels so different, but they feel so similar to me. And I don't know if that makes sense, but in my mind, it sort of does. Just everything about the breakup feels so different, but when I think about her and I think about the bond that we had, she felt so familiar to me. Familiar in the sense like I've always known her, even though we've just had a brief time together. So with that in mind, I want to coach a little bit on something I am now looking at very differently than I did before. The very things that I used to think upset me about her were actually the shadow side of me that I need to work on. Now, I am a male that is the divine feminine energy in this twin soul union. I am the chaser. She is the runner. And from an energetic perspective, masculine and feminine do not carry the same meanings that we think they do down here. As far as the energy goes from the feminine side, it's the nurturing, it's the more spiritual side, it's the side that is about compassion and empathy, where the masculine side is much more of that ego-driven area. And I used to be almost offended to some degree by maybe her actions and things like that, but what I'm discovering is it's like, wait a minute. If I'm lacking in the areas that are her strengths, why wouldn't I want to implement those into my life? And instead of being dominating, I suppose, in the divine feminine sense, I want to balance that out and implement a little bit more masculinity to find a core balance. And it just kind of dawned on me. It's like, well, wait a minute. That's the whole point of this thing, is balancing out ourselves and balancing out that energy. Instead of being, well, let me put it to you this way. Being extreme in one area is the reason that they run away in the first place. There's no harmonious balance, because even though I'm sitting here telling you that her energies and the things that she would do offended me, that works on the inverse. The things that I was doing are things that she has not yet cultivated within herself and needs to work on those areas to bring balance back into her life. And if you look at any law in physics about polarities, is that they kind of cross like this a little bit, they go out and they come back in. That to me is the whole point of this journey. I have great faith that our reunion will happen. I have to set those bags down, not put any expectations on it, completely surrender that it's in the divine's hands at this point. But the only thing we can truly do is work on ourselves and balancing out our own energy, and really facing the things that maybe we thought we didn't like about them, and then turning that mirror back on us. It's like, well, wait a minute, what about it don't I like? Is there something inside of me that is causing this pain? Because I want to be able to get to a position where the looping thoughts that are about me thinking negatively of her are actually me working on parts of me to then truly love the person that I am, which would mean I am loving my soul in an unconditional way. which in turn means you are loving their soul in an unconditional way, that their flaws are in fact their strengths. We might look at them as flaws, but they are their strengths that we too need to implement in our lives to balance out our energies. Because right now, if we're in this state of looping, we are imbalanced. And again, I'm interpreting this out of that book I had read, the amount of epiphanies that are just like the aha moments, the self-realization, the self-actualization. It's just something we really need to focus on more of, instead of, it's building blocks. First of all, we're knocking down blocks to discover ourselves on the other side of this wall. But at the same time, we're building the blocks for the foundation of ourselves to begin to develop and cultivate this brand new person that we are supposed to be for the world, for the world. This isn't just about us. And I've always been leaning on the expression of, if you want to change the world, change your world first, and watch it just change right around you. So that was my quick message this morning. I'm back into reading the book, round 2. I'm already through chapter 2 again. So it's exciting. The first time I read through it, it was just a kind of to get in the mode of what that book was all about. The book is called Twin Souls. I have it on my previous video, the authors. But again, highly recommend it. It is such a soft, compassionate way to look at this, and is putting my heart and mind at ease. And then that's not to say that I still don't have thoughts. Again, I was talking this morning about me feeling angry, a little bit angry about something, but it's subsided, and that's inevitably the goal. Is thoughts are going to pop. What we do about them is the true essence of who we are becoming, and how we allow them to, I suppose, dictate our day. Because if you were like I was early on, or maybe you still are, and how long you've been in this journey, that those thoughts can consume you a long time. But the goal is to balance out ourselves, balance out our energy, and that beautiful person you're looking at in the mirror every day, let them know you love them, okay? Because it's just like telling them as well. So, you guys take care.